Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Welcome to Washington Hebrew Congregation. I'm Rabbi Sue Shankman, joined by Cantor Susan Bortnick, and we are delighted to be with you this evening as we begin the month of September, but we're halfway through the month of Elul in the Jewish calendar, and as we come together on a beautiful, glorious day, Zehayom Asa Adonai Nagila V'nismecha Bo. This is the day which God has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. And as we rejoice at being together, we take a moment to introduce ourselves to the people seated around us. So we invite you, not yet, wait 1 second, to say hello to someone you don't already know. So that might require you to move over a little or to lean forward or behind. And when you say hello, please share your name, maybe say where you're from, and also your favorite flavor of ice cream as we're beginning to, I'm sorry to say goodbye to summer, but let's hold on to it a little bit longer. We still have 3 weeks technically of summer. So your favorite flavor of ice cream. Joining us on the live stream this evening. We are so happy that you are with us as well, and we wish you a Shabbat Shalom. And we begin with a poem for the arrival of Shabbat by Rabbi, he's actually not a rabbi, but a Reform liturgist, Alden Salavi. He might or might not be happy if he heard that I called him a rabbi. We'll have to ask him. But this is entitled For the Arrival of Shabbat. Well of life, bless my heart with the gifts of Shabbat, the presence of your love in my pulse, your glory in my chest, and your wonder in my breath. Bless my eyes with the gifts of Shabbat, seeing the beauty of the candlesticks, the Kiddush cup, and chalot. Bless my lips with the gifts of Shabbat, rejoicing in song and prayer, singing melodies ancient and new. Bless my ears with the gifts of Shabbat, hearing hymns and praises, the nigunim of old, and the blessed words of Torah. Bless my soul with the gifts of Shabbat, awe and thanksgiving, calm and surrender, beauty, righteousness, and peace. Let these gifts descend gently on all your people, Israel, so that together, wherever we may be, in one voice, from the four corners of earth, we sing, Boachem l'shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon. We turn to page 12 as we turn to our Kabbalat Shabbat, our psalms with which we welcome Shabbat with our voices and our hearts and our souls. We sing these psalms to God as we prepare to welcome Shabbat, and we've lit our candles already, but there is an important ritual that is a part of our welcoming of Shabbat, which is the words of Lecha Dodi on page 20 and 21. And this poem is a poem that invites Shabbat in. We say, Lecha Dodi, come, my beloved. And it is our opening of our hearts to Shabbat in whatever way we need our hearts to open on this particular Shabbat. And so I invite you to take a deep breath and to let it out and to take one more. And as we leave behind the rest of the week, we can almost picture, perhaps we've even can sense what it might be like to be out in the fields. If you can visualize yourself in a beautiful place in nature, and for some, perhaps even the fields, the hills around the city of Tzfat. The Kabbalists would go out on Shabbat or just before Shabbat to physically welcome Shabbat. In our day and age, we are not as connected as physically to the world as our ancestors were, who worked, who toiled, and many of us, I'm not suggesting we don't work, but it's a different way than our ancestors worked. And they needed that physical survival, this moment, for Shabbat to come into their hearts, into their souls, and to be able to take that deep breath and to take a step away from the everyday. We, in many ways, need that even more because it is with us all the time, and with, hopefully none of us at this moment, but with devices that remind us that there is a whole world out there calling our attention. This moment becomes that much more sacred. And so we welcome Shabbat, we invite Shabbat into our hearts, into our souls, with the words of Lecha Dodi, page 20 and 21, verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. And when we get to the final verse, we'll rise and we'll turn to face the door and welcome Shabbat and anyone who comes in along with Shabbat into our hearts.
Lecha Dodi, likrat kala.
We turn to page 22 for Tov Lehodot. 22? Yes. 3 lines down. It is good to praise Adonai, to sing hymns to your name, O Most High.
Tov lehodot Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon.
This is the season of returning to ourselves and our people, of returning to our God and returning to our calling. This is the season of quiet, of quieting the mind to hear the voice, of quieting the heart to hear the soul, of quieting the self to make space for the Ein Sof, the Endless One.
Tov lehodot. Tov lehodot Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon.
This is the season of surrender, of surrendering fear and despair to hope and adventure, of surrendering odd quirks and old habits to dignity and kindness, and to honor and to service.
Tov lehodot. Tov lehodot Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon.
This is the season of returning to wholeness and love, to prayer and charity, to family and friends. This is the season that reminds us of who we are and who we might become. The season that summons us to return our days to purpose and our lives to God's holy word.
Tov lehodot Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon. Tov lehodot Adonai, uzamer l'shimcha elyon.
As we embark in this season of return, we turn together to page 28 and we rise for our call to worship, the Baruch Hu.
Baruch hu Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam.
We join together at the top of page 31. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Hama'ariv Aravim. Page 32.
If we turn to page 32, we're going to join in Ahavat Olam. It's a melody that we introduced back in July. And I know some of you have not been with us since July, and that's okay. It's very repetitive, but hopefully you'll catch on. And if not, you can just enjoy the beautiful melody. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, otanu limadeta. Ahavat Olam, Beit Yisrael, Amcha Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim.
Yisrael.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kivon Malchuto Le'olam Laed. We continue on page 36 as we continue chanting our second prayer of love. So Ahavat Olam was our first prayer of love, and then we followed that with Shema, and now we have our second prayer of love. So what I like to do with our religious school students is, as we do this section of the service, I invite our students, and so I invite you this evening, to think of the person in your life or the thing in your life that makes you feel the most love, and embrace yourself in that feeling and that warmth that that person gives you or that thing gives you. And you can literally embrace if you would like. And we join together in these words of Ve'ahavta with that feeling of love surrounding us. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'divarta bam v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'v'lachtecha b'derech u'v'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kshartam le'ot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'b'sharecha leman tizkeru v'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'elohim ani Adonai Elohechem. Amen.
We turn to page 40 for our prayer, Freedom. We turn to page 42 for our prayer of protection. And at one time, this prayer carried a slightly different intention than it does today. It was actually a physical prayer of asking for safety on the return home following being together for worship for services because of the dangers of the world. We know that there are dangers still in our day and age, and we ask for God's protection to watch over us as we sleep, so that we might awaken to a new day, not only just for the sake of life, but for all that we might do to fulfill our partnership with God, to help God in not only protecting one another, but in protecting our earth as well. And so we turn to our prayer for protection. Hashkivenu.
Hashkivenu.
Page 44, the words of the Vishamru prayer are words that we might not actually need if we are here, because they're words that remind us that Shabbat has this power to keep us and to keep us connected with one another, with our community, with God. But we recite these words even though we're already, perhaps these words would be better for some who might not be participating in services tonight, who need that reminder. But for us, it's an affirmation of what brings us here, a reminder that, as Ahad Ha'am said, that more than the Jewish people has kept Shabbat, Shabbat has kept the Jewish people. It gives us that extra breath, that extra soul that we need at the end of a week to be able to have the strength to find that sense of rejuvenation and enter into a new week and all the possibilities that come with it.
Shabbat
invites God's presence to suffuse our spirits, God's will to prevail in our lives. Prayer may not bring water to parched fields, nor mend a broken bridge, nor rebuild a ruined city. But prayer can water an arid soul, mend a broken heart, rebuild a weakened well. We rise together, turning in prayer on page 46.
Adonai, sifat tiftachu fi hilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei avotenu v'imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chastei Avot B'imahot, U'mebi Gula Livnei B'neihem, Leman Shemo B'Ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ezrat Sarah, Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol atah Rab Le'Hoshia, Morid Hatal, Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechayeh HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim V'Rofeh Cholim, U'Matir Asurim, U'Mekayem Emunato Lishenei Afar, Michamocha Ba'al Givurot, U'Mido Melach, Melech Memit U'Mechayeh, U'Matzmiach Yeshua, V'ne'eman atah la'chayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, U'kadoshim v'chol yom yahalelucha selah, Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el hakadosh.
We turn together to the top of page 55, and we join together. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. Page 57. Ritzei Adonai Eloheinu b'amcha Yisrael, u'tefilatam b'ahava tekabel, u'tehila ratzon tamid avodat Yisrael amecha. Ever-present one, may we, your people Israel, be worthy in our deeds and our prayer together, wherever we live, wherever we seek you, in this land, in Zion restored, in all lands. You are our God, whom alone we serve in reverence. Baruch atah Adonai, she'odcha levadcha b'yir'ah na'avod. And we turn to page 58, where we find our hoda'ah, our prayer of thanksgiving, and we take a moment to reflect on the blessings in our lives, those things for which we want to give thanksgiving at this time. And we happen to be here on Labor Day weekend, and we know that this is a time when there is communities like Washington Hebrew and around the country are reflecting on the importance of those who have given of themselves in what we might call avodah, in service of the heart, but also in service of the work that people have done, and the importance of taking care of those in our lives who perform some type of work or function for which we might not always express gratitude. So as we begin this process tonight of taking a moment for our own personal simchas, I want to also, on behalf of all of us as a community, express the gratitude that we have for those who work in all kinds of ways, the people we come in contact with each and every day, but might take for granted. And so those who are often the invisible workers, sometimes visible, but not always appreciated in the way that they should be. And so this is a weekend that is dedicated to that on the calendar, not just symbolically, but also in our Jewish community and with our values as well. And so we take a moment to think about our own smachot, our own joys, however small or large they might be. And I know at least, I know in one case, a very small but very large simcha. Yeah, a couple of them.
So we've had a great week, starting with our 45th anniversary. And 2 days later was our son's 14th anniversary. And am I in the right order? Benedict. And then we had our 7th grandchild. And her name is Adriana Rem Castillo Applebaum. She's doing great. And after that, we had the 9th birthday of our twin grandchildren, who are our oldest. So it's been an amazing week.
Wow.
We're very thankful.
So you've covered all of us for the, and so what we say after even just one simcha, but we've all heard all of these, we say, Modim anachnu lach, how grateful we are. Susanna.
My job actually just opened up like a week ago.
A new job? That's awesome and as we're talking about work and service and a new job, labor, we say, Modim anachnu lach. Kara.
My first wedding anniversary was last Sunday.
Mazel tov. And just as you were with us right after you got married, now you're here with us on just after your first anniversary. And we say not only for your special simcha, but for having you with us week in and week out, making sure that everyone can hear us both in the room and beyond. We say, Modim anachnu lach.
I survived my first week teaching 5th grade.
For new classes and new students, and not just surviving, but I'm sure thriving, as all of your students are, no doubt as well, Anna. So we say, Modim anachnu lach. And it's a very special day today, tomorrow. I knew it was this weekend. We wish Griffin Rosenthal a happy birthday. And so we're so glad that you're here with us. Starting off your birthday weekend and your birthday Shabbat, we say, Modim anachnu lach.
I started my final year of grad school.
For new beginnings of endings and continuations and all the things that go along with that and all the possibility, we say, Modim anachnu lach.
Nomi and I only have 2 years left of high school.
Don't remind me.
I'm not sure how the parents feel here about, but we'll say, Modim anachnu lach. One more.
I'm seeing my sister this weekend.
Wow. So, and this is very exciting. So, Ava's sister, Jenny, is an incredible dancer and is in North Carolina, which I'm sure I'm watching Mom, missing her, I can tell. How wonderful that she's is she coming here? Are you going there? All right, well, wonderful to have families reuniting and connecting and seeing the joy not only through technology and over the phone, but in person as well. We say, Modim anachnu lach. Yes.
I would like to salute all the Jewish men and women who supported unions and created unions in the United States, who helped create the middle class, and we should all be proud of the union movement in America.
So,
Beautiful.
excellently, better said than I ever could have said it, but as a child of someone who was in a union, and actually 2 parents who were in unions of different kinds, that is what this weekend is about as well. And I didn't quite take it that far, but really to be able to be grateful for where we are today because of all those who organized and came together to make sure that everyone and continue to make sure that everyone is treated fairly and has working conditions that are not only humane but safe, and to know that so many of us benefit from that and are not aware of it or don't think about it, certainly on a daily basis. To have this day and this weekend, a long weekend, so we rejoice over that, but we should also not lose sight of the reason and the purpose behind it. So thank you. And for that, we all say, Modim Anachnu Lach. And we turn to the bottom of page 58, and we join together in our Chatimah, the last line of the prayer. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulecha na'eh lehodot. And we turn to our prayer of healing, to Misha Berach on page 253. And before we do, we pause for a moment to think of all those who are in need of healing, of body, of mind, or spirit. And on this Shabbat, we think of Suzanne Menkes, and we add to her name anyone in our own lives who is in need of healing. So as I look around the room, if you would like to share a name aloud, or you can keep it in your heart, I invite you to do so. Baruch atah Adonai Rofeh HaCholim. We praise you, O God, healer of the sick. We turn to the words of Misha Berach, page 253. We turn to page 60, and we join together in a prayer for peace and wholeness. Shalom Rav Yisrael Anka Tasdim Le'olam. Shalom Rav Yisrael Anka Tasdim Le'olam. Shalom
Israel b'shalom.
We take a moment now to turn from our fixed liturgy to the liturgy that we find on the pages of our hearts as we pray silently.
Achachati et Adonai, achachati otavakesh, achachati met Adonai, achachati otavakesh. Shiti, shiti, bevet Adonai. Shiti, shiti, kohen echayai. Shiti, shiti, bevet Adonai. Shiti, shiti, kohen echayai. Lachazor b'noam Adonai. Uvakeh b'hechalo. Lachazor b'noam Adonai. To gaze upon the beauty of Adonai. One thing, I ask you, Adonai, to be with you all of my life. One thing, I ask you, Adonai, to be with you all of my life. Achachati me'et Adonai, achachati
That beautiful rendition of Chalchalti is taken from Psalm 27, which is the psalm that is traditionally recited each day during the month of Elul, which is the month in which we find ourselves in the Jewish calendar. We are approximately halfway through. The 15th day is ending in the month of Elul. And the Maggid of Dubno, who's a great teacher in Jewish tradition, used to instruct his students to recite their prayers on the high holy days with reverence and understanding, not by memorization and rote. And he reminded them that fulfilling the rituals was a means to a higher end, to be able to renew oneself in order to stand before God and to stand before the heavenly court with clean hands and a pure heart on Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. And he shared a well-known parable, which is one of my favorite stories, and it reminds us, Cantor Bornick and I were talking about it earlier today, it always reminds me of the stories of Chelm, and some of you may be familiar with the Jews of Chelm and their antics that may be familiar to some of you. They were very silly. They were, I don't like to say that they were not, let's just say they were not the sharpest tools in the shed. And all of the stories reflect that in some way. And this one could very easily be one of those stories of our friends from Chelm. And it tells the story of a naive villager who was born and raised in a shtetl somewhere, a remote, small, rural environment, and somewhat obscure spot far away from anything. And he came to the big city for the first time, and he went and stayed at an inn. And he was awakened in the middle of the night by the loudest noise he'd ever heard. It was the beating of drums, and it startled him awake, and it was so loud, and he was alarmed, and so he went to find someone to say, "What's going on? What is this all about?" And someone in the inn told him that a fire had broken out in the city, and that the beating of the drums was the city's fire alarm. And after hearing that, he thought, oh, okay, that's the fire alarm. He turned over and he went back to sleep, thinking nothing of it, or not much of it. But when he went back home to his village, he reported to the village authorities that in the city they have this wonderful system that when a fire breaks out, the people beat their drums, and before long, the fire burns out. Thank you, David Weiss. And that is why I was hired. So they were so excited, and they went out and they ordered drums to be sent from the big city. They ordered drums and they distributed them to everybody in the town, so every house had a drum. And soon after, not long, because in a lot of these shtetls, actually all of them, the houses were made of wood, a fire broke out, and everybody got their drums and they started banging, and there was this deafening explosion of, not the house, but the sound of the drums was so loud, and everybody kept beating their drums, and while they waited expectantly for the flames to subside and the fire to go out, a number of their homes burned to the ground, very sadly. And a sophisticated visitor was passing through the town, and he learned the reason for this ear-splitting din, and he said to them, "You fools, do you think that the fire can be put out simply by the beating of drums? The drums only sound the alarm for the people to wake up and do what they need to do to take measures to put out and extinguish the fire themselves." And that simple story with a little bit of humor is a reminder for us at this time of year as we find ourselves in the month of Elul in the Jewish calendar. It's our alarm, if you will. It's our alert that it's time for us to wake up. It's time for us to prepare. And our tradition guides us in the steps that we need to take right now so that we can be fully prepared to embrace in this time, this moment of reflection. Some of you may have seen, and if you haven't, I encourage you to go to our website where you can find our posts for the month of Elul. And each week we've posted a new reflection with a beautiful piece of music. It's on our WHC website, which I believe if you don't have to all do this right now, but if you go to, yes, our QR code, you can go to the website, and under worship, you'll find a section on Elul, and you can see that each week we have a melody, one of the melodies of the High Holy Days that will be sung during the High Holy Days, accompanied, beautifully sung by our cantors, and accompanied by insightful reflections by our rabbis to bring out the meaning of that particular prayer. And we offer those as an opportunity in a way to center ourselves and to prepare for the holidays, and so that if we do that each week and perhaps each day, then we might find ourselves when we're here on the high holidays with a different sense of how we approach the meaning of the prayers. I also shared some of you saw in the September journal that we traditionally blow the shofar each morning throughout the month of Elul to wake us up, a sort of spiritual alarm, so that we can be ready in time. And in addition, I did share some wonderful resources that can provide support. And one of those is a book called Opening Your Heart with Psalm 27, which I'm going to share a little bit of that in just a moment. Another is a book by Shai Agnon called Days of Awe. And in my first year of rabbinical school, I came across a story that has always guided me through this moment, this time in the year. And it's a story that begins by telling that a cantor was rushing through the streets of his town when he was stopped by the rabbi. And by the way, this is not anything that would happen here. So this was written well before our cantors and rabbis. So a cantor was rushing through the streets of his town, and he was stopped by the rabbi, who asked, "Where are you going in such a hurry?" And the cantor replied, "I'm heading for the synagogue to study the prayer book and prepare for the Yamim Noraim, the days of awe." And the rabbi said, "The prayer book will be the same as it was last year. It's better to examine yourself and your deeds." It's written that the 30 days before Rosh Hashanah, the great judgment day, are 30 days when we are to turn in repentance, in teshuvah. And the rabbis asked, what is that? What can we compare that to in our day? And the sages made the analogy that the 30 days of grace that a court grants to a debtor in which to pay their debts and be free of creditors. And we could compare that to grace periods that we might receive in payment on credit cards or other such payments. But it's always fascinating. It's always been fascinating to me that we call this process of teshuvah, of repentance, of return during the month of Elul, we call it cheshbon hanefesh. It's an accounting of our souls. Cheshbon hanefesh, an accounting of our souls. And it's fascinating to me because in modern Hebrew, cheshbon is the bill that you get at the end of a meal in the restaurant. And so this idea that we're literally taking an accounting where we're adding up what we've done, where we're taking stock of not what we've had to eat, but what we've done over the past year. And the rabbis teach that each one of us needs to hear that shofar blast so that we might hear and awaken from our slumber and begin to tally up our personal cheshbon hanefesh. So as we contemplate how we might account for our words and our deeds of this past year, in place of the shofar tonight, I'm going to offer words by Rabbi Deborah J. Robbins, these were today's offering in her book, Opening Your Heart with Psalm 27, which is a wonderful. I encourage you, maybe not this year, we're partway through already, although I'm happy to share, but perhaps for next year, this is a wonderful way, you can see it's very thin, one page each day, to reflect. And so today's is the sound at the center. I see the word on the page, and a sound reverberates in my ears. Truah, the shofar. In my memory, the word and the sound of the ancient horn are one, insistent and incessant, awaiting my reply. I remember the sound of shofar and a rule. Hear the shofar, not its echo, the rabbis teach. Allow the authentic sound to vibrate in my ear, resonate in my heart, speak to the core of my soul, evoke my response. The printed word, truah, appears almost at the center of the psalm, but not quite. It's off-center, like me in the month of Elul. This truah is a pre-echo to help prepare, a call and response prayer, the emblematic and anthemic sound of the season. Primal, it emerges from the raw horn of the ram. During Elul, it foreshadows the sound I will hear at the center of the season. 100 shofar blasts on Yom Truah, Rosh Hashanah, the sound of human breath, of life, of sadness and loss, angst, the pounding of my heart. And on Yom Kippur, the giant blast of Tekiah Gedolah, the sound of release, of renewal, of hope, the possibility of peace. I will be ready. I will hear the call and offer my response. I will give thanks to God, the sound at the center. And so as we begin the 16th day of the month of Elul this evening and come ever closer to Rosh Hashanah and to the day of judgment, may we continue to find the strength and courage to look deep within ourselves during these few weeks, so that when we arrive at Rosh Hashanah, we can find ourselves at peace with ourselves and with one another. Keinu Hi Ratzon, may that be God's will, but may each one of us make it our will as well. Shabbat Shalom and Shana Tova. And we turn to page 282. And one of the things that we certainly think about on Rosh Hashanah in particular, but each and every day and each and every week, is our obligation to be God's partners in not only repairing the world, but preserving the world and returning the world to its beginning at the moment of creation, a world in which there is harmony, a world in which there is peace. And so we rise together for Aleinu.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teit gedula l'yotzei bereshit, shelo asanu kegoyei haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kecho amonam, l'anachnu ומשתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך הוא ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא
We turn now to page 294 as we pause for a moment of memory. And we think of those whose, especially at these times of year, but certainly names that we read each year at this time. And we think of those who have brought light and love into our lives and whose memories continue to light our way. On this Shabbat, we think of Robert Ades, Ellis Aronson, Esther Kramer Ostern, Joseph Barmak, Suvia Nordlinger Berend, Rose Bertoff Burzak, Jerry Booth, Molly Schwartz Brylowski, Florence Cohen, Gerald Director, Joseph Dreyfus, Francis Newman Duber, Samuel Edelson, Eleanor Ehrlich, Fanny Einstein, Nathan Einstein, Martin Fain, Meyer Fellheimer, Andrea Frank, Muriel Frank Fisher, Samuel Fisher, David Foreman, William Scott Funger, Saul Richard Gamer, Harry Lewis Goldberg, Violet Goldberg, Esther Gould, Dora Granoff, Frida Greenstein, Joseph Greenstein, Sheldon I. Grossberg, Hyman Hack, Karen Hart, Sally Kafritz Jaffe, Rose J., Charles Katz, Harry K., Isidore Kellner, Ira Kern, Sadie Klein, Aaron Krasner, Paul Livingston, Helen Mannheimer, George Marks, Maurice Mazo, Benjamin Miller, Isidore Miller, Frida Miller, Sarah Minkoff, Eva Ida Neviser, Barbara Nordlinger, Evelyn Perkins, Jack Polin, Augusta Rice, Henrietta Richard, Beatrice Brownstein Ringel, Harold L. Buddy Robinson, Moritz Rudney, Gustav Bear Solomon, Nathan Samuel, Cecilia Schlossberg, Molly Schulman, Robert Schwartz, Irving Ezra Siegel, Elliot Sillinger, Laura Schwartz, Louis Shapiro, Julius Samuel Sherman, Rachel Siegel, Joseph J.S. Smith, Bernard Snyder, David Stern, Bertha Strauss, Leon Strauss, Amanda Lynn Toll, Sylvia Winkleman, William Wolfe Jr., William Robert Wolk, Michael Rothschild. And we add to their names the names of those recently laid to rest: Susan Urofsky, Gloria Sterling, Sheldon A. Polster, Penelope Kilburn, William Lane, Eugene Selesno, Fred Sands, Joel Rishti, Roberta Bernstein, Beverly Rosenberg, Raymond Greenberg, Seal Fox, Irving Mises, and Thomas L. Nordlinger. If there is a name that has either been mispronounced or a name that has not been recited aloud that you would like to add to this list, I invite you to recite the name.
Ruth Bassett. Archie and Harold Schwartz. Sylvia McCord. Arlene Sorkin.
With all of these names in our hearts, calling others now to mind as well, we rise together as one community, taking all of their names into our hearts with our own, and we join together in Kaddish Yatom, the Mourner's Kaddish, page 294. Yitgadal v'yizgadal shemei rabbah, ve'alma divrach haruzeh v'yamlich malchuseh, v'chayachon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beis Yisrael, ba'agalah v'zman kariv v'imru, amen. Yehei Shmei Rabba Mevorach Leolam Oamei Amaya. Yitbarach V'yishtabach V'yisba'ar V'yisramah V'yisnaseh. V'yisadar V'yisaleh V'yisalal Shmei D'Kudusha Brihu. Le'elam in Kol Berchasa V'shirasa. Tushbachasa V'nechemasa. Da'amiram V'yalma V'yimru. Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabba Min Shemaya. V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael. V'imru. Amen. Oseh Shalom B'imrumav. Hu Ya'aseh Shalom. Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael. V'imru. Amen. May the source of peace and peace to all those who mourn and comfort to all who are bereaved as we say together. Amen. Amen. Please be seated.
We should do
At this time, it's my pleasure to invite Melissa Schwartz, a member of our board of directors, who will share with us some upcoming events.
It's just tall as you. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thanks so much for joining us tonight, and Rabbi Schenk and Dr. Bortnick, it was just so beautiful, so thank you both. I'm Melissa Schwartz. As you said, I'm a member of the board, and I was thinking as she was talking about the month of Elul, all of my announcements are telling us that we should be on top of things. So if you have not yet gotten your high holiday tickets, and I feel like if you're here tonight, you must have, but you can get them on the website. Next weekend, we have a really special weekend. We have another Welcome Back Night Shabbat, as well as Vintage Reflections wine tasting and an American Slichot service on Saturday, and Religious Full opening up on Sunday. And then as we all think about the season to come, I wanted to share two other things. Two wonderful classes are going to be starting. For anyone who has not yet done it, or I heard some people do this multiple times, the 12 Jewish questions with Rabbi Miller and the clergy is starting, as well as 8 Jewish rituals with Rabbi Fischel. So please, you can take a copy of the This Week with you and use the QR code and find more information about all of that. So every Shabbat, we increase our joy by reciting Kiddush, and it's a moment when we remember the miracle of Exodus and celebrate our freedom. So for this Shabbat, we invite all of our children to come up and lead us in the Kiddush. And I love this joy. This is great. So may the vision of these young people give us the strength, pride, and hope for a brighter future.
We join together on page 5. And if you all can come on closer. Come on closer. Ready? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kedeshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzah banu, b'shabbat kodsho v'yahava v'ratzon yinchilanu, zikaron l'maaseh bereshit. Yotanu Kirasha Mikol Amim Veshabbat Kodshecha Ve'ava Uvratzon Yinchaltanu Baruch Ata Adonai Mekadesh HaShabbat L'chaim.
So Isaac and Amelia, you're going to go back there.
Amalia.
Amalia, sorry.
And actually, as they go back there, I also had an idea. We have 4 teenagers here. So if the 4 of you would like to come on up, and we're going to let you hold the tallis
Great idea.
over the younger students, as also after the challah is done.
Amalia is very talented. She's doing this backwards, partly backwards. All right. Oh, and this one had a baby.
Oh, it had a baby. Rabbi Shankman made one of the challahs.
Which one?
Well, you'll be able to tell, I think.
Yes. And you get
The
out.
one that looks a little more legitimate, you know.
Yeah, but thank you. This one. Right?
Oh, yeah, come on.
All right, are you ready to lead us? And we'll all join. When your grandfather makes them, it looks like that too. It's good to know. I'm in good company. All right, so we're all going to join together in Hamotzi.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz.
And then you're going to come. We're gonna get to eat it, take a taste when we leave on our way out. So we ask God's blessing upon all of these children, those who are shorter than I am and those who are taller than I am, and everyone in between. And we say, Yivarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha. May God bless you and watch over you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'yichunecha. May God's face shine upon you and be gracious to you and kind.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha v'yasem lecha shalom. May God be with you and the people you love and the people who love you. May God give to each of you the gift and the blessing of wholeness and of peace. And we say together,
Amen. Beautiful. You may all go back to your seats. Thank you. Thank you. And we conclude our service. We're going to do a very brief rendition of Shalom Aleichem on page 323. And as you're turning, I will turn on my music and we will start.
May God guard our going out and coming in. May each of our moments be filled with wholeness, with joy, and with peace. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Shana tova.